Hi, we're going to have a quick look at making a seamless texture. There are going to be a few tools involved. I'll take you through them slowly. Well, not too slowly, I hope. And here we go. So, here's a texture that I've got. Image size is currently 2048 by 2048. So the power of 2 is at the base of this texture, so it's good for gaming and good for game engines. So let's just take this texture and say Edit, Define Pattern, and we'll call it Wall 01. Okay. I've set up another file which is 4 times larger, and I'm going to fill this 4 square test file with the pattern that we've just created. There it is at the very bottom, Wall 01. Say OK. And we can see it's got very strong textures. Very strong horizontal and vertical seams, and that's what we want to get rid of. So back into our texture, and I'm going to use a filter called Offset, which is hidden under the Other and Offset menu. Okay, because I've been in here before, it's all set to wrap around, but just so you know what's going on, let's put it to transparent to begin with. And I've divided horizontally and vertically the image in half, which pushes the image down to the bottom right hand corner of the screen. Okay, so it's down in the bottom right hand corner of the screen, and if we hit the wraparound button, the image is repeated, but what's happening is that this once was up here in the top left hand corner, and this square was once down here in the bottom right hand corner, so it's like it's been folded open, so leaving us with this seam in the middle that we need to get rid of. Okay, say OK to that. And historically I would have used this, the clone stamp tool, to get rid of those seams, but we've now got another option called the patch tool, which is going to be, I think, a little bit faster and easier for us to use. So let's use the patch tool, and I'll show you how it works. You can draw a little line like so around a section, wait for the selection to appear, and then drag that to another part of the image like so, and I'll just Control D to deselect, and you can see that bit of the seam has disappeared. So our objective is to carry on doing that. Bit by bit we can replace those obvious seams like so. There's one there. And so on. Okay, so you get the point. You're going to do this all the way through the whole file until the whole seam horizontally and vertically disappears. Okay, so I've used the patch tool, and here and there I've also used the spot healing tool, which does the following. I'll just zoom in and show you. Spot healing tool do little things like that and get rid of little spots. Okay, so it depends on what you want to do, but you can use that tool. You could also use this one, do this one kind of gently. I would say you've got to hold down the Alt key, click, and then you can go to a new area and you can just do that. And it will take information from where the crosshair is and clone it over here. So, between the 3 tools, we can end up with something like this. This big mark down here is probably too much. Let's try the spot healing brush on that. Let's just see what we get. Take that out. And a little bit more. Okay, that'll make it not so noticeable to the eye, I suspect. Alright, so it's not going to be perfect. You're still going to see a little bit of the seam, and you're going to have to do more work on it. That's inevitable. However, here we go. We can have a look at how it tiles up. So what I'll do is I'll just create a new document, and this document can be something like, I don't know, let's make it 6,000 by 6,000 as a little tester. And in this, back to our original document, we'll just go edit, define pattern, and I'll just call it wall pattern 1. Go to the newly created document and say edit, fill, choose the pattern, custom pattern. I'm going to go for wall pattern 1, and it pastes it in. And as you can see, it's coming along. There are still little kind of gradations. I can see little patterns down here, the more tones rather than patterns that would need to be worked further. But essentially that's the process that you're going to employ, and then you'd have to go back to your original tool, your original file, and start to work it out. And I can see it roughly there. That area there, that little dark band, needs to be lightened or cloned or whatever. We've got to just adjust that slightly to get rid of it in the final tiled version. Okay, so I just paused the video there and I did a little bit more work on the file, just so that it wasn't boring for you. I just kind of used the three main tools there. I'm going to finish off by using the spot healing tool, and I'm going to just get rid of a couple of these like that. Get rid of that. I think that might be a little bit obvious. Get rid of that, and I'm going to set up another new file. Call it 6,000. Sorry, give it dimensions of 6,000 by 6,000. Okay. Same thing again. I'm going to say define pattern. Call it wall pattern 3. Go to our empty file, hit the fill command, look for the final one that I've created, wall pattern 3, say OK, and that's not looking so bad at all now. There is the little repeating mark there and there that could be removed. I could just take that out and just help the eye not pick up on those little scores. So maybe as one last action I'll do that. So spot healing brush, take that out. That should help. And do it one last time. Define pattern. We'll call it wall pattern 4. Back into our other file. Edit, fill, choose the last pattern I created, wall pattern 4, say OK, and there we go. That's got rid of that little scratch. That makes life a bit easier. There is one more irritating little obvious one there, right there. To my eye, that is irritating. I'm going to have to keep on going. This is mad. This is like the sign of madness, but I'm going to have to do it one more time. So just take that out. Okay, I'll leave it at this. I'll say define pattern 5. So wall pattern 5. OK. Come back to this. Fill. Look for that last pattern that I created. Wall pattern 5. OK. And good. That's gone. That's much better. So I can still see a little something, but I'm not going to point it out to you in case you don't, but you probably can as well. But that way madness lies. So I'll accept that from our original tiling. This is much better. The seams are much more invisible. Okay, so I'll leave it at that. Thanks very much. See what you can do with the same file, and then of course there's other things that we can do. We can extend this exercise. Okay, cheers.